Okay, this is probably one of the hardest perspectives to take, but that doesn't mean it's not true. So, the discontinuity of self means that our self is emerging fresh and new every second of every day. And that can be very difficult to accept because, our perspective is so pervasive, so obvious. Like, we're so used to seeing through our own eyes that we grow to believe that the self is constant, that it's this immortal soul that exists in our body, and it interacts with the body, but it's this immaterial object that just is, and that's just not true. Our thoughts, ideas, behaviors, concepts, actions, whatever, everything we are and we do is the result of the interactions between neurons in our brain, and they are always interacting differently. Um, it's I like to compare it to a computer, where the image on the monitor, it looks like it's one ongoing thing that just slowly changes. But really, every single pixel is being computed every second by the CPU and the memory and the hard drive. All these things acting together produce this interface that looks constant. It looks like it's, one entity that just slowly changes. But it's it's being created anew every instant of every day, and the same is true of ourselves. Um, uh, we can think that we are this entity that just exists within our body, but we emerge from our body. We're produced by our bodies. Our brains produce us just like a CPU in a computer produces the operating system. So, and this isn't just a semantic debate over what the word self means. It has huge implications for the way we live our lives. Um, Most notably, it can help us relieve ourselves of our guilt. So we all make tons and tons of mistakes, and we feel bad about them. But it's important to remember that the self that made that mistake is long gone. It it ended. If you were there with the current knowledge you have, you wouldn't make that same mistake because you already know how it played out. So once you've made a mistake and you've done as much as you can to fix it, it doesn't help to feel bad about it anymore. All you can do is learn from your mistakes, fix the problems that you can fix, and move on. And once you realize that, it feels good to confront your mistakes and realize that you're now a better person because of that. The person that made the mistake is dead, and now you get to exist with the knowledge, the hard-won knowledge earned from that mistake. Um, Besides relieving guilt, this perspective can also um, give us enjoyable mental experiences, like meditation. Um, Meditation is a lot of fun, and it can make you feel good, and also help you see, into yourself, see behind the curtain, beyond this illusion of a continuous self, and we can learn a lot from Buddha on the subject. Um, I mean, the basic idea is sit quietly and focus solely on what you're experiencing right now. Forget the past, forget the future. Let your thoughts and senses, perceptions, let all that just kind of wash by you, wash over you, and don't judge it. Don't judge it, but just experience the moment, and it can be a lot of fun, and it can really help your brain sync up all these very parallel processes and get them all working together, and kind of help your brain to function as a more coherent unit. And the last thing that this perspective, well, one more thing that it can help you with is to overcome your fear of death. Because once you realize that the self is discontinuous and you are a new person every instant, you'll realize that you will never die. You only live right now, and some other poor sap in your shoes years down the road, he's the one that gets to experience death, not you. So you have nothing to be afraid of. And even when it's happening, it might be a bad, few minutes or few months or whatever, but the only way it can negatively impact your life is if you let it. If you start thinking about it now instead of, you can't do anything to make those final moments better. So put them off. You're gonna have to deal with them later anyways. There's no reason to deal with them now and later. No reason to experience death twice. So leave that to the future self. And one more thing the discontinuity of self can help you with is kind of like death, but things that you can't do anything about today that you're going to have to deal with. There's no point feeling bad about them. There's no point dreading something that you can't do something about today. So, after a certain amount of preparation, you can't improve your performance on the test. So there's absolutely no point worrying about it because it's not going to help you, and all it does is give you negative feelings. So, recognizing the discontinuity of self can really help you kind of focus solely on the things that you can affect, and those are the only things worth worrying about. But that's not to say that there aren't some things that we can do today that will help us tomorrow. And that's where I'll start talking about perspective of paying it forward.